All right. Husbandos, let's do it. He's pretty good. He'd wait on me. He seems to be has some, he doesn't seem boring by any means, just put it that way. Also seems a little opportunistic though, so. Kid. Gant, I don't know. Gant's kind of a tough one. I mean, the physical imposition he provides is great, but he also seems like a terribly narcissistic asshole. I am not into, well, I'd be lying. You know what? I'm not even gonna. You guys, I've put enough. I've said enough about certain things, but yeah, he might be. I don't know. This would be like you got to take with the good with the bad sort of thing. Man, I just feel like he's a perfectionist too. Like, if you make him if your dinner that you make for him is bad, he'll just sit there and look at you with that stare, where he blinks a few times, kind of smiling. And then he'll be like, do you know what I hate most? A burnt roast. Gumshoe is that dude. The only reason he is not going to be in best is because he's dirt poor. And like, I wouldn't mind supporting him because he's just that great. But it would add, you know, some layer of uncomfortableness to it. But he's still S for sure. But otherwise, he's got your back. He'll believe in you. He loves you. You know, earnest. No, if I cared more about finances than character, he'd be. Yeah, so it's he's low tier. He is low tier. He's in jail for one. That's kind of a problem. No, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna take their current incarceration status into consideration because then that put a bunch of them in D. Like automatically, and that makes it less interesting. There's nothing impressive about this dude. Jake Marshall, S. Dude's a stud. He is a stud. We will say though that he is unemployed now, at least, so that's kind of a problem. But actually, you know what? I'm dropping him one tier because I keep thinking the stuff. I keep thinking he's wearing a cowl, but it's his hair. His hair is awful. And I don't know why. Larry, he dotes on you. He also sucks though, so. I mean, there's a reason he keeps pulling in the ladies, right? Like there's something about him that we're not seeing. It fits him like his character is supposed to be wearing a hat, a cowl underneath, because if that's the case, then yes. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out here. Hear me out. Actually might be kind of a good husband. He really does care about his family. Just look at how he treats Francisca in like the anime. He's somebody who has expectations, but he truly loves his family. Like, if you're on his good side like that, I think it's a good thing. The problem is that you have an issue where, like think about being the wife of like a wealthy drug dealer, where he has these crimes where if he gets caught, he's going away forever. So there's that constant anxiety there for something like that. But for the time that he doesn't get caught, I think it's pretty good. And that is I think it's a reasonable argument to believe that the anime misrepresented his character. I actually, before I ever saw the anime, assumed that that's the type of dude he was after meeting Francisca. He is a perfectionist, which is why he's not an A. Having sex with him would be just too much micromanaging going on there. Grossberg, Hemorrhoid City. He does make a pretty good salary though, so I'll give him a little bump for that. And he's not super unattractive. My biggest problem with him is his hair. Like I hate the flip. I don't like it. Like it kind of fits his character, but I don't like it personally. He would definitely remember that because he's perfect at it. He would never forget that. So his cons are probably a perfectionist in bed, murdered somebody in the past, so he could go away forever or be killed. See, no, see, I don't agree with that because Grossberg would actually treat you well, whereas Gant wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. He treats you well. Grossberg's a nice guy. He's just kind of lacks a spine. Meekins would be fucking obnoxious. Better than Mr. Sniveler here, but obnoxious. Good dude at heart, looks like an actual cartoon character, and is obnoxious. Those beady little eyes. But would he betray his own family? That was Mia's family. Kind of the same thing with Von Karma. Illegal. Probably the worst person on this list, to be honest. If I'm like trying to look ahead. Ben is pretty fucking awful. First of all, he's into little girls, and the way the Regina thing with him and the puppet is just weird. But even beyond that, his personality, he's just a shithead. He is a fucking shithead. I would never want to be around this dude. If I were married to him, I'd plot to kill him. The only way I'd be able to get off is by imagining him dying in various ways. Acro does love his family. He's a nice looking dude. He's handsome. I don't like that he travels in a circus. Circuses aren't really my thing. He probably doesn't make that, like, a ton of money, but he makes enough to live, but it's also, you would have to travel with the circus, right? Which I don't, that doesn't, I don't like that. I don't like that. Maybe if we could settle down somewhere else, you know, it'd be a little better. It can bump him up to B, but traveling around in the circus is, Yanni Yogi is, you know, he's not the worst looking old dude, but he's also kind of a piece of trash person. Although he is kind of funny. And he does have a talking bird, but he lives in a shack. Payne makes a good salary because he is a prosecutor. And I guess an upside to him is I could probably control him pretty easily, if nothing else. And he definitely respect me more than those women, right? He would burn his fingerprints for you. Yeah, I mean, he's a prosecutor. He makes good money. He's gonna have a wife. So, like, he's not the worst. I could deal. It wouldn't be ideal, but I could deal. Will Powers, what a hunk. His biggest issue is that he's a little too, passive in his ability to take advantage of his own potential, and that would be kind of frustrating as a spouse. So he's probably like here. No, he's probably above Marshall. Painfully average. Oh, there you go. Okay. If somebody's gonna call this Baka sussy, give a reason. Don't just say the word sussy just because of memes. Give it to me. I want to hear why it's sussy. Because if you can't tell me why it's sussy, then you ain't got no business calling it sussy. Don't be a little bitch about it. I don't know why Hocha put the dog in there. I don't know who's worse between these two. At least me and him would have similar interests, I suppose. In that I guess he likes anime, right? But he likes like he's creepy about it. He makes better money than Ben does. I don't think he's illegal, he's just gross. Yeah, he is pretty fucking unattractive. Just, ugh, I can't look at his face. But I don't want to travel in the circus. Nah, I wouldn't be able to deal with him. Red White. He's an asshole, narcissistic, has a ton of money. Probably around the Gant area. At least you'd be able to live comfortably. Hearing him talk his English would be really fun. I mean, he's a good looking dude besides his fucking hair. I like his sense of style. Phoenix! Phoenix is a great dude. Especially Hobo Phoenix. That dude's a Giga Chad. But he loves being destitute, which is kind of annoying, especially since he shouldn't be. There's no reason why he should be. And not, you know, he's an attractive man. Dresses well-ish. That blue needs to be a little darker, but he's got the right color combo. Stands up for what he believes in. So yeah, that's a pretty sure he. Let's okay. Hold on. We need to distinguish something here. Chad is negative, to me at least. So if we're gonna talk about Chad stuff, that's like douchebag shit. Douchebag basic bro bitch. Giga Chad, however, is one that transcends that negativity into something godly. Edgeworth is a Giga Chad. His biggest issue is that he's emotionally distant. That's a problem. That's actually kind of a problem. But it seems like when you break those walls down, you got yourself a real keeper. Yeah, we're not sure. What? He might be asexual. I have no idea. This is borderline illegal. He like has an actual, like, I don't know. He's psycho. He's a fucking psycho. I feel like if you get on his bad side, he will kill you. So, I mean, yeah, that's right. How could I forget the multiple picture fucking, yeah, he is pretty awful. Kind of a pretty dude, but I don't want to die. At least with, well, I'm assuming I'm not going to die with Ben, but I guess I don't know. And he cheats, like, oh god. Max has the same issue in Ben in that his, like, the thing with Regina is weird. But, like, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem nearly as creepy as Ben. Maybe it's because he never made it as explicit as Ben did. Like, you could interpret the way Max was talking about it in that simply, like, that's his really good friend. Because I don't think he ever straight up is like, yeah, I'm dating her. Whereas Ben's like, I want her. Ah, I want her. God. Oh. But, he's arrogant because he really has this, like, he has some confidence, but he also has this other side to him that's really, like, he's not confident at all. Like, he's got this facade, which I actually think makes him kind of interesting. But he is in the circus, although he's relative to the rest of the performers, he seems like he's probably loaded. So your accommodations are a little nicer there. Oh, does he say he's gonna marry her? I thought she said she's going to marry him. Do I have that backwards? He kind of, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Max is a cute dude. I like his feminine features. But yeah, the thing with Regina just kind of prevents him from, because there's something still creepy about that. I do have that backwards. I think I'd still rather have him than Gant, but actually, no, I'm putting red white here. Mo, he's a clown. Enough said. But at least I can roll my eyes at his jokes. And he is the head of the circus now, so he's got that power. Wellington sucks. Probably better than Sniveler there, though. Shelly the Killer. Well, I like his confidence. He's not a bad-looking older gentleman. Obviously has refined taste with the monocle. The zipper up his face is a little disconcerting. A little hard to look at, but he has a distinguished mustache and can get the job done. When he says he's gonna do something, he does it. He is loyal to a fault. So not the worst, and he's not gonna kill you. He only kills people that he's hired to kill. He himself doesn't go out to kill people for personal pleasure, it seems, at least. Yeah, him not being home a lot could be a good thing too, though. Just don't ever cheat on him, because then he might break that not killing for pleasure code. He did ask for permission. That's still weird, though. Like, it's good that he did, like, the if there is such a thing as a correct way of doing that, respected her family. But the fact that he even wanted to is that's what I can't get over. It would be betraying bond of trust with him. So I think I'm gonna put him above Larry. He's got some potential there. This guy sucks. I I'm married to a nurse, so I am married to a nurse who works with a particularly narcissistic subset of doctors. So, when I see a dick doctor like this, I don't necessarily assume that a doctor is going to be a dick, but when I see a doctor who is clearly a dick, my feelings of irritation towards them gets amplified even more so. So, I probably dislike this guy more than the average Ace Attorney fan. He's a doctor, but I would want to punch him in his fucking face every day. Every day. Virio Tigre, yeah, he's the type of dude that, like, tries to intimidate his spouse. He's probably a piece of shit. And still doesn't seem that well off despite being a fucking loan shark. He's not super bad looking, he just needs to stop with the fake tanning. A rather well put together, intelligent gentleman who is also a serial killer. Godot. Godot is almost the entire package, except his code of masculinity is outdated and obnoxious. And that's coming from a male. So as his spouse, it would be even more obnoxious, I think. But like, he's a good-looking dude. He's a thoughtful individual. Obviously cares very much about the people close to him. Dresses well. He's got that theme that follows him around everywhere. Eyesight's a little fucked at this point, but I mean, the visor's kind of cool too. So, you know, drinks way too much caffeine. I don't know whether to put him above or below Phoenix. What do you guys think? I feel like this might be a toss-up. He will make coffee for you. I put Acro in C mostly because he's in the circus and doesn't really offer that much more other than being kind of attractive. Like, the circus also fucks over Ben and Max to an extent. Well, remember, we're not assuming these people are going to prison, because that would make too many of these characters really easy to, like, disregard, and that wouldn't be as fun. So we're assuming he's not going to jail for whatever reason. Reason doesn't matter. Armstrong is a lying piece of shit who isn't his food actually really bad too, despite him being a chef? The only thing I really enjoy about him is his love for the color pink. Kristoff is a jealous mess. He is the type of dude that they write in the stories that, like, kills his spouse over jealousy over something. But still, he's got money and he's not bad looking, so I still probably put him here. We take the risk. Claver. Now, Claver's got it all. Got the looks, he's loaded, has a sense of justice, got style. Biggest problem with him is similar to the issue with Shelly the Killer. He's not gonna be home a lot. He's not gonna be alone, or you're gonna be alone a lot. So I'm not sure where that puts him here. Is that enough to drop him below any of these characters? Maybe Edgeworth? And he's funny. Like, he's a stud. He's an outright stud. But he's so studly that you're gonna have an issue actually spending time with him. So, like, I don't know. I guess I'm willing to put him above everyone except maybe Edgeworth. I don't know. He might be in contention for top. We'll get to best, like, at the end. But I'm probably putting him here for now, because he's up there. He is up there for sure. I love Claver's character. His noodles are super salty. I hate his hair. I hate his eyebrows. I hate that he wears a bowl for a hat. But he's also not the worst person. He's less annoying than Meekins is. This guy, I don't know, like here? There's a lot of, I feel like there's not much upside to that guy, but like, I don't know. He is. But it still puts him above like some of these other dudes who are like outright awful, more pitiable than awful. Darian, fuck him and his disgusting hair. And he's a killer going here. He's just, I can't look at him with that hair. It's disgusting. Doesn't make any sense. Apollo. Excuse me. Apollo has not yet reached Phoenix level, so he's not up there. He is funny. He's a tryhard, but in a good way. Good sense of, I like his style, personally. A lot of potential. He's just kind of young, so he's still, like, figuring the rest of the stuff out. He is loud, but I grew up in a loud family, so that doesn't really bother me. Like, I feel like he's either above or below Jake. I don't think he's above Will yet. Remember, I've only seen Apollo in one game, so the next couple of games could greatly influence my... He is, but like even Phoenix was still young there. The reason we can add more to Phoenix's character now is because he's a lot older. Yeah, I'll put him above Jake here, especially for the potential. Disgusting. Nope, I'd rather take the risk. And not as disgusting, or more disgusting than that hair. And he yells. Fake French accent would be better than hearing whatever he has to say. God, he's just so unattractive. That's where I'm gonna leave him. Legal. Ron, oh dear Ron. I hate his hair, but everything else about him's splendid. He's a treat. He's a treat to be around. Cares about his spouse, you know, greatly. Just wants to make them happy to the point where he'll start stealing some stuff, but not killing. Even if he gets put away for stealing, it's not going to be for as long as a lot of these other people because he's not killing anybody. So, I'm probably putting Ron here. He's actually got his shit together a little more than Jake does. Ron needs a better sense of style, though. I absolutely hate his outfit. That is true. Stood up to people he knew he was going to get his ass whooped. I don't see, but I feel like I could put Ron here, but I feel like I shouldn't put him ahead of Apollo, even more so than like Will Powers. Maybe I feel better about this. I think I like this. I feel better about this arrangement now. Canadian judge. He's a judge. Makes good money. I'm assuming. I find Canadian accents to be very pleasant. I do find beards with no mustaches to be incredibly unattractive, personally. If you have this, for me, you must have this or you don't look good. Now, all you out there that have that, again, I consider myself a straight male, mostly, like, again, Kinsey scale, much more towards straight than anything else. But, so, my opinion doesn't really matter much here, right? Just my personal thing. I'm looking at a dude and their attractiveness, and I see that they got the Abe, an even worse Abe going on. That ain't it. Don't do it. In my personal opinion. But other than that, pretty solid choice, I think. Pretty solid choice. Maybe even above Von Karma, just because of the stability. I actually want to put him here. Okay, but this guy isn't Abe Lincoln. Also, Abe Lincoln was known for being unattractive. Like, that was... Like, he's not attractive. And I'm like, I kind of agree. It's mostly because of that beard. That's because the dignity in which Abe Lincoln carried himself with is just not anything. Nobody on this list can match that. At me is ugly. I hate that nose. I hate it. I hate it. For as awesome as that monocle is, the hair and the nose just completely blow it apart. He's also super fucking annoying. Very into himself. But he's still pure. Still above all those other people. Ooh, the first person that I would actively take some killers over. This is probably where I draw the line. You know what? Fuck this. I see the people that are in front of him, and I'm like, nah. I'm lying to myself if I say that. I'm lying to myself. I'd rather him go, I don't know about that, than I see. I 100% agree with your assessment because you are the last person who spoke. And then next person talks, he's like, now I agree with you 100%. The only good thing about Brushel is that he can supply me with any amount of cocaine that I need, obviously. Because he's done so much coke in his life that it's permanently stained on his face. Okay, so Valent has some problems. But he's like generally a good dude. He'd be entertaining. I'd probably put him here. He kind of has a problem with not being around either. Keeping secrets. Like, good looking dude. He's a good looking dude, for sure. little too much yellow. I bet if he turned this to like a dark gray or like a dark blue, suddenly he's probably an A because he just looks better without, you know. Oh, we don't even have to low key it. He's a good looking dude. He's a good looking dude. Chiseled chin, is able to pull off just the mustache well. Good hair. Not intense. Oh, God, strong. We'll just, what word am I thinking of? Fierce eyes. Fierce eyes. I like fierce eyes. You would have jealousy problems. That is true. Yeah, I mean, yellow and red put together. God, bound to happen, right? Good call by Maxim. This dude is a fucking perv. The only thing I will say about him is he seems relatively book smart, and he's not the worst looking guy. He's just a fucking pervert. My boss guy, these bushy eyebrows are a problem. Other than that though, he's kind of a stud. So like here, but God, if we had Walkie together as a kid, I would feel like a failure as a parent. Speaking of which, oh God, Walkie is so goddamn annoying. Every time he'd open his mouth, I'd want to punch him in his fucking face. Ambassador is high tier. He's a great dude. Always has a very pleasant disposition, most of the time, has a very pleasant disposition. Person of influence and power. Able to pull off that blonde hair well. He's a people pleaser. This isn't cute. This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. The only thing that's minorly cute about him is like his cat whiskers. Walkie's disgusting. He's annoying as shit and he's fuck ugly. Does act like a teenager. Also another downside. This guy's ugly. He does have a very imposing presence though, which can be attractive. He also has some power behind him, which is also attractive. But my God, those ears, man. They just, ugh. It's also a murderer. Wait, did he? No, his son did it, right? But he tried to cover it up. Which shows some loyalty to family. So, I mean, might be able to deal with the ears a little bit there. But he's always making a stank face. He is always making a stank face. You get a few not stank faces, but like 80% of the screen time he's making a stank face. He was. Oh, he's definitely doing illegal stuff. But I don't know. I don't know if I still rather have him than most of these other people. Yeah, he's a kid. Kind of like he's got the Von Karma thing where he's definitely not a good dude, but he cares about his family. Because he cares about it, he doesn't want his son to... He cares about his family. I can respect that. Is it the right thing to do? No. But at least we can, like, respect the motives behind it. Mo is a clown. That's Mo's biggest problem. That's a huge problem. And that's kind of what I was trying to weigh here. I don't think he's better than Payne, though. This guy, he is attractive. He's got the Hollywood face. But he's annoying as fuck, and he also was the culprit behind the first case in Ace. Wait, was that case 2? What case is that? Investigations. It was 1, right? Wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him, but he does make money. It was case 1. Okay. Married his partner in cold blood, so he could definitely murder his spouse in cold blood. Still risk it with him over all these other people, though. Oof. Oh God. Here, at least his dad's rich, I guess. It seems like him and that girl had a good relationship. Wait, didn't he throw her under the bus? It's hard to remember some of the details in that case. Oh yeah, I'm athletically inclined. You keep me in shape. So that's actually a pretty good benefit. He did throw under the bus. Okay, yeah, piece of shit. There. Alba is just awful. He has a position of power. I mean, he's got a nice figure when he's standing up straight. His nose is disgusting. I hate his hair. Again, no mustache because he thinks he's fucking Abraham Lincoln that lived past Ford's Theater. Also murdered 2 people. I'm gonna give here. There we go. You could never have an argument with him. You could never have an argument with him because it would never end. Mr. Lang. He's a studly man. A little gullible, getting dragged around by you for so long, but studly man. Jumps to conclusions a little too much. Like his style. He just, yeah. Good theme. Is there any reason not to put him in S class? Like low S? I'm not sure there's a reason to keep him out of S. Just a stud. Bad. Bad is high tier, except for that he's a little older. And honestly, I don't find he's not an attractive dude. Like his face is way too severe. But he's a dude with a really good heart. He's a beast. Likes candy. We have that in common. What I imagine his voice to be is pretty sexy. I just don't think Bad looks like his attractiveness level bumps him down a tier. Otherwise, he would be like if you took Lang and gave him all of Bad's attributes, that's an S tier character. He's like a legendary Pokemon that can't breed. This guy sucks. Here, just I have a hard time looking at him. Okay, Blaze also sucks. He will absolutely murder you to get away with whatever he needs to get away with. And he wears his goggles correctly. Worst, contender for worst dad in the game. This guy only cares about being the best at stuff. I think, yeah, right here. He's not a bad looking dude, but Jesus, he's awful. Fake president, another awful guy. Man, it's too many pieces of shit on this list. He's handsome when he's in his fake mode. Just think about betting with him when he's in his fake mode. Like, everything just suddenly kind of melts onto you. Probably still more than... He's also the fake president. Gotta give him that. Gregory Edgeworth, in contention for best husbando. He's got style. He's got the right disposition. Cares about his kid a ton. Very intelligent. Has a very nice dry sense of humor. Even though he looks super serious, he doesn't actually take things as serious as you would think. He's got that little sense of humor to him. I imagine that Patrick Stewart was very much like Gregory Edgeworth at his age. Not well, maybe less Patrick, because Patrick Stewart himself's a fucking goof. But Jean-Luc Picard was very much like a Gregory Edgeworth in his mid-30s, and that's a stud. That's a stud. Knightley sucks. Really sucks. But not as much as some of these other people. His problem is that he's annoying too. This guy, forget his name. He is actually in jail though. So that's a benefit because y'all don't have to see his face actually. Ripped. He's not attractive, but he's not super ugly either. Do we know why he's in jail? Yeah, J. Elberg. See, I despise his hair, and I despise how, like, he's got a really narrow head. I don't say I despise that, but it comes off as unattractive to me. Maybe that's due to the neck brace. Maybe if he didn't have the neck brace on, I wouldn't think it looks that way. But I think the neck brace, his face looks very unattractive. If he murdered somebody, wouldn't he be dead? Generic crime. Like, he could beat somebody up for you. Like I said, he's not super unattractive. Not good looking, but not super unattractive. Maybe there. Another contention for best husbando, can sing, has the body of an Adonis, dresses well. Actually love his curly hair. So Ray's interesting. Ray's an attractive dude. I love his style. But he's a little too flirty for my tastes, quite honestly. A little way too flirty. And I would assume he's like that kind of flirt that's still going to be a flirt even after you guys get married. And that bothers me. Oh yeah, and he's an amazing cook. It's complete package. Maybe they probably can't drop him down that low though. Like here. That's true. He is kind of a perv too. It's like he does it to K, and it's like, no, you shouldn't be doing that to K, dog. Kid. No. No, no, no. No, no. I'd still take him over these people, though. Actually, you know what? All right. Yeah, sure, he just wants to hug. That's a lot of pervs say. Simon's interesting. He's really interesting. He's a really interesting character. But he's kind of sick. It's understandable given what happened to him, but he's not unattractive. Got monkeys around him all the time. That's kind of a problem. Again, he's also in the circus. Yeah, it's like the issues he has, I'm just not sure. Cause like, and this grudge is from a long time ago, right? He wasn't able to let go, sadly. Zach looks like a stud, but wow, is he a piece of shit person and father. He is the definition of, honey, I'm going out to get cigarettes and never coming back guy. But he's also surprisingly still not as much of a piece of shit as some of these other people are. Is he a worse dad? Is he the worst dad though? Is he the worst dad? He's a damn terrible dad, but I don't think he's outright the worst compared to some of these other people. Well, and I think, right, and I think that's exactly it. The reason why Zach comes off as worse as somebody like Gustavia, even though Gustavia, I think what he did was clearly worse, and his complete lack of regard for his son after the fact confirmed it. Whereas Zach obviously regretted what he did. He still loved his daughter. It's because we get so close to Trucy that we're like, how could you have possibly done that to her? So like, it amplifies it. Even though I think it's pretty. Gustavia is if you took Zach, but then made him objectively worse, because he actually doesn't care about his kid. Zach is like base level Goku. Gustavia is Super Saiyan God. Yeah, I get behind that. I get behind that. So yeah, I feel pretty good about this list. Except we gotta figure out who best. We gotta figure out who best Husbando is, and I think it's between these four guys. I think it's between these four individuals. Before I choose, I'm curious to see what you guys think. You guys can vote. Hey, Mike, at least I think I'm down to 2 in my head. Correct. Just interested in seeing what chat says. So 45% Gregory, Miles and Clavera split at 25 apiece, and then 5 for Masters. I mean, it's up to you. If it's your own firm, you can take on full-time cases, or you don't. It's up to you. That's the great thing about it. If something happened in your life, like say you're having a kid. My partner's having a kid. Well, girlfriend's having a kid. So he cut cases off for a little while so that he has the time to spend with his girlfriend during those early months of childbirth. That's the amazing flexibility of working for yourself. All right, so I'm gonna go from 4th to 1st. Yeah. 4th, Masters is gonna stay here. A big reason why is professionally, I can relate to all 3 of these guys. And I think that creates a lot of understanding and empathy in the relationship. So even though he's a stand-up dude, I have no idea what it's like to be a confectionist or singer stage guy. So, plus, I mean, he's a lot older now too, or at least when we last see him. Miles at number 3, and he's 3 because even though I personally enjoy the challenge of trying to get someone to trust me to break down an emotional wall, it still is something you have to do. As opposed with these two, I don't think you really have that issue. And as Edgeworth's spouse, I'd probably find Francisca really fucking annoying. And I don't really know if I'm somebody who wants a family, and I'm not sure if Edgeworth is someone who's interested in having children. So then it comes down to these two, and I'm picking Gregory for a few reasons. They both seem like they'd be awesome, but there's a slightly higher chance that Claver is going to find someone better than me, which, you know, Gregory's that type of dude though, where he seems like he settles down with you. That's it. You don't care about nobody else. Let's have a kid. Let's do our thing. That, and Claver also has that issue of being on the road a lot. Like, who was that? Who's the other person that was going to be on the road a lot? I mean, Valiant was one. Lang's kind of like that too. But yeah, like he travels. And going even deeper into the job thing, I empathize much more with the people that are on the defense side. As somebody who works a private practice and not for the government, I much more connect with Gregory, Phoenix, Edgeworth when he does it, Apollo, than Claver, Edgeworth when he's, you know, prosecutor, Godot. Oh, I guess Godot was a defense attorney at 1.2. We don't really see him acting like... We don't see him in the role on Karma. Mike. Yeah, fair. So I think that's... There's probably more fireworks here, but there's more long-term stability here. And at 35, I'm more about the long-term stability. If I was 10 years younger, I'd probably go for the fireworks. So that's it. Feeling pretty good about this list, too. Some of these, if I thought a little harder, might get flipped, but they're all pieces of shit in one way or another. So, or just annoying, or a clown. Nah, I can't put Mo in the same tier as those people. Like that. Ooh, about that for now.